Elon Musk has been on a spree trying to reassure the right wing that he does actually have their back with this Twitter thing. He hasn't been able to deliver on all of his promises to them, but some he is making good on, including giving back access to the few right wingers who had been banned permanently from the platform. He already let Trump back on, and now Marjorie Greene's personal Twitter account is back. And I want you to just bear in mind as we get into what she's doing with that account once again. While her personal account had been banned, her congressional account was allowed to continue. This is not like with Trump where any account he tried to tweet from immediately got banned. She's been tweeting nonstop from her congressional account. And if you follow her congressional account, there ain't a lick of difference between that and what her personal account was. She could already say whatever crazy things she wanted. Now she can do it from 2 accounts. And here is what she had to say in celebration of the banning being taken away. I'm the only member of Congress the unelected big tech oligarchs permanently banned, which might say something more about you than about them, but sure. On January 2nd, they violated my freedom of speech, which has nothing to do with the actions of private companies. One would think she'd have had time as a congresswoman to eventually read the Bill of Rights, but she has not. She says, my account is back, go follow blah, blah, blah for MTG Unfiltered. And then she did a winky face just in case you had any food in your stomach. That's now flying across the room. Okay, so by the way, really fast, is Elon Musk a big tech oligarch now, Marjorie Greene? I mean, he's the richest person in the world and he has sole control over a massive social media platform. I have a feeling you probably won't lump him into that group. But here's what she's been doing with her renewed access to Twitter. She's been on a retweeting spree of post-millennial things about her, one of which has her spreading conspiracy theories about the death of George Floyd. That's one of the first things she did when she got back on it, was start to lie about how George Floyd died. She then gave Alex Jones for being right about something she's calling the information war. I don't know what that is, and I don't know what her position is. When Twitter is controlled by a right winger and Facebook is controlled by a right winger, I don't know what more control over social media they could possibly have. She attacked big tech communists for silencing the voices of people who detransitioned and speak out against the medicalized gender transitions of children. So she's using it to demonize the trans community once again. And just as a reminder, the last tweets of hers that are still up on her account from before she was banned include her spreading COVID misinformation. That doesn't bother me as much. I mean, I don't like misinformation, but it's not like anything other than Marjorie Greene cultists are gonna follow her advice and inevitably needlessly die from COVID. So that's really for her side to police. Anyway, Jordan, she's back on, and I can't imagine what could possibly get her banned again under Elon Musk.
Yeah, what she thrived on with that account was saying the most outrageous things, posting just totally blatant lies to get attention, because it helped get her more media coverage, even generate outrage cycles, which brought her more followers and attention. And it was just this never-ending cycle. Her getting suspended, I didn't really care about. She still had her official account. I don't think this was like totally silencing some member of Congress, which would be just a bold step. It wasn't that big of a deal. She knew what she was doing. But the thing is, in addition to her, there's all these other people in the right-wing world who had been suspended over the last several years for heinous stuff. Twitter just didn't want that on their platform. I understand why they wouldn't want that on their platform. And they have all been reinstated. But for them, they're doing the same thing, saying and doing heinous things to get attention, to generate coverage, generate outrage cycles, and rinse and repeat over and over again. And they would build up followings by doing this. They're all back now. While they don't have power in Congress, they're getting more attention in the mainstream, which I think is unfortunate. So it's like, it's tough to even talk about and cover, because it's like, I really don't want to give them what they want, because they thrive on that. There's people who have made their way onto like daytime television doing this, which is deeply unfortunate. I don't want to name them, but like, it's just a method that the right sees as effective, because you want to cover both sides. Ultimately underscores a conversation people need to have about objectivity in media, and whether we really do need to give people with totally fringe beliefs the same platform and space in coverage on things where someone's just presenting the truth, even if it's inconvenient for the right. So it's frustrating to see all these people back, but that seems to be what Elon's game is, just to win over and curry favor with the right.
Yeah. Well, claiming as he did today that he's not doing anything to benefit the right. It's the moderate wing that he is trying to appeal to. Meanwhile, he literally only tweets at right wingers. He's just unbanning right wing. That's what he's doing. I mean, it's super clear. It couldn't be any clearer. Yeah, I agree. Look, in response to what you're saying, it does reassure me at least that these people are successfully grifting for themselves, and there are consequences for that. But it doesn't seem, again, to be a very successful electoral strategy. So I'm a little bit less worried about that, but we will continue to keep that on our mind as we go forward. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.